I walked outside one day, a man was standing there. He had a great big beard and lots of hair. He said,
Welcome
"Won't you
to
come
the
down
last
and
map
check
on my road for reaching the Mastery Dog tag with the RPK-12. Today we play a game of Rush. This time I take part in the defensive team. My job is therefore to defend the MCOMs with all means necessary. This was the first time I played Rush on this map, so I took a fast decision that I would take my stand up at the upstairs of the first building on the left. By doing so, I would have a good view over the MCOMs and about 70% of every angle that the attackers could arrive at. Not too many others of my team realized this, which gave me a very important position. I decided therefore that it was more important for me to stay alive here and try to be the last man standing than to take unnecessary risks. My teammates would have to be the ones closing down any of the MCOMs or take care of any threat coming from the mountain part of the island. This position was made for the airburst. Sure, it can be a cheesy weapon to get killed by, but I think that it has its place when it's called for, and yes, in this case I would say that it was. At this position I must say that even though the RPK-12 more functioned as a secondary weapon, it was very useful for me and I was able to pick off some of the enemies with it when the magazine of the airburst went empty. So this time it was my place to play the part of the scrub camper with an airburst. And when the enemies eventually broke through, it happened when they were able to kill me off with an attack boat from the east and a rush of infantry from the west. I managed a kill streak of 13 before it was time to defend the second pairs of MCOMs. At the second pair of MCOMs, I felt that the RPK-12 was not the best setup possible. And if you are to use it here, I would suggest using another type of optic, since the engaging ranges are much shorter. Of that reason I got some use of the airburst here as well, since I felt forced to seek the upstairs in order to gain range. Whenever I got into close range, I even got some use of the deagle. There are a lot of cover at these MCOMs, but it's so hard to get any good use out of them since there are so many flanking options for the enemy team. And here I get my Mastery Dog tag. And I must say that I have had a really good time playing with this weapon. It has been a good learning experience to play with a decent long-range weapon. For the best way to equip it, I prefer it without any attachments except for the 3.4 times optic. You can always equip it differently for different occasions. Inside this base, for example, it would have been better to use a stubby grip and a 1 times optic. But when the RPK-12 is really able to shine, like on the Lost Islands map, the naked loadout is the best way to go. At these MCOMs the enemies eventually succeeded to push through, even though we put up a good fight here when only one MCOM were left. When using the support kit you should not put any care in your accuracy with a gun. You have the magazine and probably also the ammo bag so you can spray however. And you probably should as well. Staying behind cover and suppress your enemies are the best way you can serve your team. If you are not able to kill the enemy off, you can pin them down and enabling your teammates to finish them off. Of that reason you really shouldn't pay that much attention to kill-death ratio either. I don't think I've ever gotten as many kill assists as these last matches playing as support on Rush. My accuracy has only been 11.82% with the RPK-12, but when you realize that I also engage targets at distances that I wouldn't with any other automatic weapon, and that I often just spray towards enemies just to let my teammates realize where they are, it suddenly makes sense. Maybe the low accuracy in this case is a good thing. At the same time, I've noticed that during the last 2 matches I got a higher accuracy than before when I switched from the stubby grip to no grip, but my playstyle did not change. As you can see down left, I am in a team with 3 guys from the same platoon. Those were also top 3 by score in the end. I ended up at 4th place with 42 kills and 19 deaths. As I started with a 13 kill streak, I slowed down a bit at the end of the game. But I actually had a hard time finding the heat of battle at the last MCOMs. I tried to cover the flanks, but the enemies seemed to engage us straight forward or at the total opposite side of the island. I played a bit with the LSAT in the end, as that is the next weapon for me to master. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this time. I'll see you in the next video or on the battlefield. Until then, take care.